Good morning, beloved. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever it is that you are watching the broadcast. Hello, how are you? I'm wonderful. I pray that you are too, or you can figure out something wonderful. We get to breathe these breaths this morning, this afternoon, this evening. For those of you who will be live, you know I love that. So very grateful that you're live and with me. Let's do it. Let's play. Let's have fun. Let's laugh. Yes. For those of you who will hashtag it and replay it, I appreciate you. For those of you, tag somebody forward, or what's the forward? Share and like and tag and all that stuff, right? For those of you who will be used by Papa at some point down the road, that's my last one, but I'm going to say it since I done halfway said it. To encourage me, yes, thank you, because I be needing it sometime. And then for those of you who will be on it, I don't know you on it. I might not never know you on. Okay, I get that. I get that. I get that. Good morning, Judith. Welcome, dear. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm going to set my clock to call you today because I keep planning to, and then my day gets going. So I'm going to make sure I call you today, my dear. So good morning, everyone. And so Letitia, hey girl, hey, good morning. Morning. Welcome, welcome. So great to have y'all this morning. This is, what am I looking for? I'm looking for Facebook, not YouTube. All right. All right. All right. And so, okay. Just want to make sure. All righty. All right. All right. So, all week long, we have been talking about. So, well, last week we started talking about opportunities and the opportunities that life presents us. And then Papa was interrupting. I'm using that word, but this is his show. Hey, Reg, Elder Dewberry. Good morning. Good morning, my brother. Good morning. And so, Papa was really wanting me to talk about lean into the dream. And so it was the conversation. Although we were talking about opportunities, we really talked a lot about leaning into the dream that Papa has for us, right? And so we did that. Good morning, Ray. Welcome. Good morning. Oh, I forgot my pom for Reg. This is my brother, y'all. This is my brother. So happy New Year. So everybody who comes on for the first time in the new year, they get a pom, Reg. All right. All right. And so we talked about that. And then last week we really delved back into this idea of or wait, it's only been then it's this week. So this week is I'm getting confused. Let me get up my list. I got gratitude. So last week it was about opportunities, unimaginable. We have unimaginable opportunities available for us. And it's vital for us to appreciate those opportunities. And like, what are you doing with the opportunity that life presents for you? Are you milking it for everything? Are you leaning into the dream? Are you connecting with Papa so you can get his vision for you? And because it ain't nothing like, and again, Oprah Winfrey talked about, I got this notion from Oprah Winfrey, and it ain't nothing like fulfilling the dream that Papa wants for us. It's okay for us to have our own dream, for us to desire to do the thing, but when we fulfill the dream that Papa wants for us, oh my. Yes. And so then that just leads us to gratitude, y'all. We've got look, we can have gratitude or we can murmur and complain, right? We can have gratitude and appreciate it, or we can, not appreciate. I prefer gratitude. I prefer in any situation to be able to find something for me to be grateful for. That's what I prefer. And so this week, that's what we're talking about, this notion of gratitude mostly. However, this morning, we've got a little bit, we've got gratitude on the end of it there, and we are talking about this notion of what would you do differently if you knew you couldn't fail at you being you. Brian, hey, my sister, good morning. I love you back. What would you do differently if you knew that you couldn't fail at being you? If you knew it, like just show up, do the thing that your mind gives you, do the thing that your soul says, like go for it. Now, y'all know I ain't ever, not ever talking about being irresponsible or being flighty or whatever, but I am talking about dreaming. I am talking about dreaming. I am talking about leaning into the dream that is for us. I am talking about that. Yes, I am. I'm talking about dreaming. I'm talking about becoming. I'm talking about doing the things that's for you to do, that's available and that's possible, and that's all of those kinds of things. Like lean into that dream. Yes, I am talking about doing that thing. And so when we think about this notion of leaning into the dream that Papa has dreamt for us, when we think about this notion of what would you do differently if you knew that you couldn't fail? See, if we knew that we couldn't fail at being us, we would stop apologizing. We would stop apologizing. We would. If we knew that we couldn't fail at being us, we would dive so deep into, okay, what else is in there? What's next for me? What else should I do? If we knew, when we know that we can't fail at being us, we move to the beat of our own drum. When we know we can't fail at being us, we so okay with whatever everybody else is doing. Like we okay with them being in their lane, doing the things, so on and so forth. It doesn't matter that it's different for us, from us. It doesn't matter because that ain't none of my business. That ain't my business. Let them do what they do. Now, I'm not talking about this notion, right? We do have a responsibility to each other. We are our brothers and sisters keeper. And so there is a certain level of I don't know what I want to say. I'll just go back with responsibility. So we are intertwined and a part of each other's lives and so on and so forth. So I'm not talking about this, this notion where it's just me and mine. I'm on my own island and don't nobody else matter. No, we all matter to each other because we all impact each other. We do. Because there is atmosphere and and energy, right? If you know that if you go into a room with someone got a stank attitude, like they affecting the whole thing, they don't even have to say anything. You can just feel it. That's what I'm talking about. And so it is vital, beloved, that we know we can't fail at being us. Let me tell you, when we fail, when we're trying to be some other kind of way, when we doubt ourselves, when we look across the aisleway and we think, I'd rather be them, I'd rather have their life, I'd rather. No, we're going to fail every time, right? It's okay to have envy, like a healthy envy. A healthy envy allows us to see something that we want, perhaps in someone else, and to admire that they have it, and to see that there's a bar that we can go up that bar. That's a healthy envy, to be able to identify your next level in somebody else. That's a healthy envy, right? But to have jealousy or a pathological envy, that's problematic, right? That's problematic. And so, beloved, I invite us to know. Good morning, Doug. Good morning. Good morning and welcome. Not sure why you're not coming up over here. Good morning. So good to see you. Good morning. So it's interesting. I have something that comes up at different places, but not over there. What is this here? One second, y'all. I'm trying to see what this is. This is my live. So good to see you, Doug. Wow. I'm not sure why it doesn't come up on my thing over here. All right. So okay. Okay. I'm not sure. Anyway, So yes, welcome, 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 welcome. And Doug, I see you on my phone, so I'm gonna give you a pom-pom welcome for the first time being on this year. Being on for the first time this year. Interesting. So what would you do differently if you knew you couldn't fail? How would you show up differently? Sherry Naylor, welcome, honey. Welcome. How would you show up differently if you knew you could not fail? Look, y'all, I'm not saying I'm not all the way there. And a lot of times when I'm talking to y'all, I'm talking to me first. I am. I'm talking to me first. So I'm working on that. I am every day getting closer and closer, closer and closer to just going for it, to be less and less concerned about the risk. Because I grew up risk averse, aversion. Like I had aversion to risk averse. That would be the word, risk averse. I wasn't taking no risk. If I didn't know it for sure, if I didn't have some proof in the pudding, if I hadn't seen it done already, if somebody didn't, not me, not gonna do it. I had no idea how limiting that was into my life, right? I had no idea how limiting that was to my life. And so, with that being the case, with that being the case, then now that I am in an exponential, like a quantum growth experience, risk is built in. Like you don't, where they say nothing from nothing leaves nothing. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing, right? So if you don't take risk, you don't get the benefit of taking risk. And not reckless. I'm not, no, right? Not that at all. But I must see who I can be. I absolutely must. It is not an option for me to wonder if it were possible. I got to leap and figure it out on the way down. I got to leap and figure it out on the way down. Figure it out. Believe me, I have utilized a lot of time working on figuring it out, developing. I told my group, I told LTE, I said my procrastination is sexy. I just develop content. I got more programs than I know what to do with because I am comfortable with putting A to B to C to D towards an objective and an outcome in learning and growth and development. I am that's my sweet spot. That's my comfort zone. You want me to design some curriculum? I can do that. Absolutely. And so I am, but I don't need to write another nothing. Another nothing. So it's so funny because I got asked the day of an event to be a part of an event. And what they were asking me to do is what I do here, like what I do here. Like they were asking me basically to do that kind of thing. So I pulled up a little sticky note, just started jotting on my sticky note. And before I knew it, I had about 9 of these within about 30 minutes, program written. That's my superpower. Like it's part of my superpowers, being able to put succinct programming together, right? But it's my superpower, but it also can be my kryptonite, okay? Because when I get afraid, when I choose fear as opposed to courage, choose fear as opposed to love, I go to develop content because I feel safe there. I'm increasing my capacity for feeling unsafe because it's the unknown. Look, when we think historically, everybody had to go into uncharted waters to get us the things that we have now. Right? If no one had decided to do the unsafe, it's really psychologically unsafe, is what it is, y'all. It's what we say about it. It's that we tell ourselves, I don't know, it's kind of built into our DNA, right? Uh Basically in the early days, right, of mankind, anything that was odd, that didn't fit, anything wasn't normal could have killed them, often did kill them. And so they had to know what was safe and what wasn't safe. So we evolved to be afraid, unfortunately, of different, to be afraid of different. Now we have to choose, we have to be intentional. We have to let divinity, right, overrule our humanity. That's the human part of us that is functioning in fear. Right. And yes, we want to be safe, right? Instinctually, sometimes you'll walk into a situation, you'll be like, something about this ain't right. I'm getting out of here. I did that when I was in Grenada. When I was in Grenada, I walked into this neighborhood every day. And I walked up a certain path. And then one morning I was gonna go a little bit further, and everything in me was like, nope, do not go down there. Do not go down there. So I turned on around, came back to the spot where I felt comfortable and safe. And then so I just found out recently from my niece who, she's there in school, and she was saying that she talked to somebody and they were saying that's not necessarily a good neighborhood. Or the part that I was getting ready to go into is a part you have to be careful in. And I was like, I knew that. Like I could feel that. And so that's the divine part of us, right? Trust it, trust it. And I'm learning more and more, like I'm working to increase that capacity within me to hear, to know, to align, to allow my divine part to lead far more than my five senses. Far more than my five senses. I so desire to be led let me just say, look, when you think about that, we have a human part and a divine part, right? We have both. We are dual beings. What part you want to lead the most? I'm just saying, because our sight, like sometimes it can deceive us. We think we saw something that we didn't. Our hearing, sometimes we think we heard what we didn't hear, or we heard a part, but it really wasn't the whole part. Our smell, well, it has its place, but it could, taste and touch. All of those are limited. They're beautiful and wonderful, and I'm grateful for each and every one of them, but they do not compare. Like that's one set. That is one set of senses. One set of senses that are all connected to limitation, to the earth realm, right? I know I'm sounding a little woo-woo this morning. That's all right. I'm a little woo-woo. I'm just saying I am. But then there's this divine part that is not limited to this stratosphere, right? It's just not limited. I'm tapped. I want more of that. Right. I want more of that. Like, Papa, yes, 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 and yes. So that will help us with the question. What would you do differently if you knew that you could not fail at you being you? Boo. You can't fail at you being you. You cannot. There is no failure in you being you. I'm not saying we won't make mistakes, but mistakes are there for teaching and learning. If children never fall, they never really learn to walk. Malia, good morning. Good morning. So good to see you. So good to see you. If children never fall, they never learn to walk. They never learn to walk. I don't know that you've been on live. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Malia. So So failure is a part of it, right? They don't come out straight out the womb walking. No, they barely can move themselves. And then they gotta turn over, and then they gotta be able to push up, and then they've got to be able to, right? And then they've got to walk. They have to fail a lot in order to build the muscles. They have to fail a lot. But this is the thing. They have to try. They have to try. But we can, but in that process of developing, right? They have to make a lot of mistakes. We can never fail at being us. So we look at failure as a wrong thing. We gonna make mistakes. Like, I'm inviting you to be okay with your mistakes. Can you just be okay with your mistakes now? Repair, fix, go back, do whatever you need to do to make it right if necessary, or chalk it up to a learning experience, but don't let it dictate your worth and value, beloved. Don't let it dictate your worth and your value. Don't let it dictate. Don't let it tell you that you're not, you can't, you won't, you don't, because it's not the truth. It's a lie. Sherry Jackson. Good morning, Sherry. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Good morning. Good morning. So don't let it dictate. Let me say, look, there is something that only you can do. There's a way that only you can show up. Let me just say, so this is the thing. We so often apologize. Well, I'm sorry, I meant to do it this way. I should have done it this way. I ought to have done it this way. Do you know, I'm compared to a speech. Do you know if you're doing a speech, nobody knows what you've written? And if you forget a word and you just keep going, more than likely, no one even knows that you've forgotten a word because it was your speech. But we go into apologizing and justifying and all of those kinds of things. If we just keep on doing what we're doing, it'll just be us doing what we're doing. Same thing about life. I'm not talking about pretense. And sometimes we do need to say that we missed the mark. But what I am saying here, beloved, is just do you. Just do you without apology. Just do you without apology from a place of love. From a place of love. Do you without apology from a place of love. It's a win-win for everybody. And then when we need to, that doesn't, without apology doesn't mean we don't ever have to apologize. We don't ever need to. Without apology means that you're not second guessing on yourself, your worth, your value, your ability, your all of those kinds. That's without apology. I'm not apologizing for the being that I am. I'm not apologizing for the gift that I am. I'm not apologizing for who I've been called to be. That's what I mean. My quirks, my idiosyncrasies, that kind of thing. Now, sometimes we need to work on some stuff. Absolutely. And sometimes we need to apologize to people for the things that we've done or failed to do or stuff like that. That's a part of life. I'm not saying that. But I am saying be okay with you. That's what I'm saying. Be okay with you. What would you do differently if you knew you couldn't fail at you being you? You cannot fail at you being you. You can't. You can't fail at you being you, right? You're already you. Like, how can you fail at that? So go on then, beloved, and go for the things that will give you life. Good morning, Ray. Go on and do the things that are for you to do. Because if you make a mistake and if you don't meet the mark, you've learned. You've learned. I love you. I really do. I appreciate you. At the moment that Abba gave us our breath, me and you forfeited, we relinquished, we gave up the right to not be amazing. Powerful words, be okay with you. Amen. Thanks, Letitia. Thanks, Scribe. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Have a fantastic day. Oh, well, let's see what should I be saying? I'm gonna get that together one day. I promise you. I'm working on me being me. But I'm okay with me being me. I really am. Tomorrow, television show WHPR TV Detroit. Sherry Jackson Caldwell is the reason, right? She's the reason. She had some programming that got me on WHPR TV Detroit. She was interviewing local authors. I walked in that studio that day, August the 9th of 2022. And I promised myself that I would have a television show by the time I was 60, and I do. So every Friday from 11:30 to noon, you can find me either live or a recorded, a replay on WHPR TV Detroit, and you can watch the replay on the YouTube channel, WHPR TV 33. For the love of it. For the love of it. Look, all links are available as of today. Self Love Queens Adventure is the weekend after Mother's Day, Thursday, May 16th through the 19th. If you want to be there, those spots fill up really very quickly. And so if you want to be there, let me know. Let me know. And so I'll put that link out today. And then the link for, the course that begins on the 23rd. And it's you or procrastination. We're going to walk through this notion of procrastination, and we're going to get us some freedom. We're going to get us some freedom that's coming from the color purple. That's how they talk. We're going to get us some freedom. All right. I love y'all. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.